It's Thursday morning, one day closer to the weekend, right? I'm meteorologist Johnny Lively here to dive into our show, which is sponsored by HB Neal Construction. Looking at radar, sponsored by Do Good Credit Union, we had some showers into the Cameron Parish area. That has now moved offshore, kicking out of the region. This is really opening the door for plenty of sunshine today as that drier air continues to filter into our region. You can really see on the last 6 hours, the satellite and radar. Look at the clouds. They're moving off to the southeast. So that means any showers that we have, they are also continuing to move out of our region. And that is also what we're seeing is look at that flow still. We're having the flow from the north. This is more of that gold and brown coming into our region. That is drier air coming into our area. So it's really nice coffee drinking weather outside. Thanks to our sponsor of Switch Electric. We can show you all that dry air that's still coming into our area. Now, we will see this change once we get into Friday evening, especially Saturday and Sunday as the moisture returns. But right now, we are loving that dry air coming into our area. Look at the temperatures far off to the north. They are into the 40s, a little bit further down into Wichita, into the 50s, Oklahoma City at 66. Down here in southeast Texas, not too bad, into the low 70s. San Antonio is at 69 degrees currently this morning. Modern concrete materials showing our temperatures across the region. Look at across the area. We've got some into the mid 60s, like Cleveland at 65. Up there towards the north is 69 in Huntsville. Even the Lakes region at 65, 66 degrees. I am jealous. Beaumont currently at 73, Lake Charles at 77. A little bit warmer over there at Lake Charles, but down towards the coast is into the mid 70s. Houston, not too bad. Depends on what airport you're looking at. One showing 73, and I believe Hobby is showing 77. Our construction forecast today, sponsored by Modern Concrete. Wonderful day in store. Only thing that we are dealing with really right now in the next hour is a little bit of patchy fog. But other than that, we're expecting clear skies, no rain. Everything is looking good. Even wind-wise, not going to be an issue at all. So construction, outdoor activities, have a go. Looks good. Upper levels flow, which is sponsored by Neutron Electrical Services. We can see the flow is out of the north. That is bringing in the dry air, not only today, but as we start getting into parts of Friday, it's into the evening time hours. Notice that we start shifting, and here we are by Saturday. The flow is out of the west. So any moisture that is coming from the Pacific, we'll get a little bit of that. But in other words, what we're going to be watching is as we start getting into late Sunday, and notice as we get into Monday, the flow starts changing again, back out of the north. That is another cold front that's going to be moving into our region early next week. So rain chances will pick up on Sunday, and then that dry air starts coming back into our area as we get into Monday and Tuesday. And you can actually see that on the atmospheric moisture here. Notice all the dry air that we have today. Once we start getting into Friday, picks up just a little bit. Saturday is really when we start seeing that moisture content really picking up. So there is a chance for some showers Saturday evening. But notice on Sunday, that's when we have the high levels of moisture here into our area. And then here comes that next round of dry air pushing into our area on Tuesday and Wednesday. So this brings us to our rainfall outlook sponsored by Dana Simmons Real Estate. You can see that the rain, not an issue on Thursday and Friday. Little to no rain is expected on Friday. We're not expecting any problems for high school football. Saturday evenings, when we see that 20 to 30% coverage, the moisture content increases. And Sundays, when we have the high levels of moisture, this is going to be coming with that cold front approaching the region. This gives us at least 50% coverage across the area. But let's talk about the futurecast for today and tomorrow, sponsored by Dana Simmons. You can see there's the showers and thunderstorms moving out of the area, currently offshore. Not going to be an issue. Bright and sunny today with temperatures in the low 90s. Some areas like Houston and Conroe and Huntsville can get up to mid to upper 90s since it's so dry. But other than that, here in Beaumont, Lake Charles, we're going to be into the low 90s. Plenty of sunshine today. Once we get into Friday afternoon, that's when we start seeing the high levels of clouds really coming back into the area. Not expecting any rain, but if we do, it's going to be just very little, very, very isolated showers is what we're going to see on Friday evening. This is not going to disrupt or mess up any Friday night football. So we are looking good. The only thing that we're seeing on Friday is clouds are returning. That means moisture is slowly returning to the area, especially by this weekend. High temperatures today, majority of the area is going to be into the low 90s. Again, areas like Houston, Spring, can get into the mid to upper 90s. Down towards the coast will be into the upper 80s. Really not bad for this time of year. Low temperatures overnight, it will be into the upper 60s into the Lakes region. Some areas get into the low 70s. I-10 corridor will be down into the mid 70s. Not bad at all. Watching the tropics. This is the area that we continue to monitor. right now in the short term has a really hard time getting developed because of all the dry air it's dealing with. But down the road, by next week, this likely will be a hurricane as it approaches the Leeward Islands. So we definitely need to keep watching the Leeward Islands. And we also need to know that where it is currently at, this is 9, 10, 11, if not 12 days away from making landfall. Just saying, if it was to make landfall in the United States, that is 9, 10, 11, 12 days away. Plenty of time to watch this. Currently looking at the upper level pattern, it just does not look like it's going to get into the Gulf. But areas like the Lesser Antilles, even getting into the Bahamas, and even parts of the East Coast definitely need to continue to keep watching, since it's 10, 11 days away from getting to the Bahamas and possibly close to the East Coast. So still plenty of time to keep watching it. But the upper level pattern just does not favor this getting into the Gulf, which is good news. We can see on the satellite imagery, you can see that you have the showers and thunderstorms in that area, but it's still disorganized again because of that dry air. But we're going to continue watching it moving westward. That's when it will slowly start getting better. Should be a tropical storm by this weekend, and likely a hurricane by the middle of next week as it approaches the Leeward Islands. So here you are. You start getting a little bit further westward by this weekend. Should be a tropical depression, tropical storm. Continues moving westward. Notice as we start getting into Tuesday and Wednesday, gets close to the Leeward Islands, likely a hurricane by this point. And then we will really start watching how close does this get to the Bahamas as we get into next weekend. And then how close does this get to the East Coast? Really, really far out to watch this. Bahamas and East Coast definitely should continue to watch this. Here in the Gulf, we'll watch it, but this just does not favor a setup to get into the Gulf. This is more so either out to sea or gets close to the Bahamas and East Coast. We'll continue to keep watching it. One thing that we're watching here in Southeast Texas is no rain today and tomorrow. Moisture starts coming back in Saturday and Sunday, a little bit ahead of that cold front that's coming in. And then we have drier and cooler air by early to middle part of next week. Notice the lows getting into the mid to upper 60s by Tuesday and Wednesday. That's because all that drier air coming into our region. Same thing for Southwest Louisiana. Not a bad 7-day forecast. We are expecting rain on Sunday ahead of that front approaching our area. Dry, cooler air coming in Monday and Tuesday, setting the stage for a really nice forecast for next week. So everybody have a good Thursday. Thanks for tuning in to Gulf Coast Weather Solutions. I will see y'all on Friday morning, and we will have more updates throughout the day. Have a good Thursday.